Bonjour to welcome back to our channel. Today we are taking you to Barbizon, so on y va. Today we take you to Barbizon, a tiny village that is one of the most visited places in the region by locals and foreign tourists.
It is located 50 kilometers south of Paris and is recognized internationally for being at the origins of the pre-impressionist art movement, as is Barbizon School.
So we just got off the bus 21. My goodness, not only is it busy, loud, crazy, but today is so full of people. Oh my goodness, it's crazy, it's so many people. So the only way to get here is either by car or by bus. And Sinan?
By car, yeah. It's
Anyway.
a tiny village right next to Fontainebleau. And you either need to have your own car or a bus. And the bus was so crowded because today is very hot. And it's also Saturday, that's why there were so many people on the bus and we were just dying to get off.
We got off one stop earlier.
As early as 1830, the painters of the time came here to seek inspiration from untouched nature, finding their subjects in the surrounding countryside of the Fontainebleau Forest.
The village shortly began bustling with hundreds of thousands of tourists, thanks to the easy connection to the neighboring Moulin by tram, which unfortunately no longer exists today.
Théodore Rousseau set up his atelier here in 1847 and, in addition to his painting activity, played a big role in defending the forests and nature around the village, which resulted in a publication by the Emperor Napoleon III of the first degree for the protection of the Fontainebleau Forest. It became the first protected natural park in the country.
Shortly after Rousseau, many artists followed, including Jean-François Millet and Charles Jacque, both fleeing the cholera that ravaged Paris at the time.
Others followed and mainly stayed at the Auberge Ganne, the Ganne Inn in English, that stands as the Painters Museum of Barbizon today, and we are going to visit it.
It was Pierre-Léo Gautier who had bought in the 1930s this old inn, which had been rented in apartments since the 1870s.
He converted it into a living house, but also a museum.
Monsieur Gautier was able to buy back from the Ganne family descendants the furniture and painted decor that had been moved to the Villa des Artistes at the other end of La Grande Rue. This allowed him to open the first 3 rooms on the ground floor to the public.
It would take until the 1980s for the municipality to focus on devoting the entire building to the Barbizon Museum, and it just so happened that in the early 1990s, during rehabilitation works, series of paintings and wall graffiti were discovered on the first floor of the inn.
This discovery added a major element to the historic interest of the inn, and by 1995, the official municipal museum was inaugurated.
Since then, Auberge Ganne houses the museum's permanent collection, comprised of decor made on the furniture and walls by the painters housed here over a century earlier, as well as works of Jean-François Millet, Rosa Bonheur, Camille Corot, and many others.
I like it. It was a little bit crowded with people, but that's what we expected anyway. We learned something new today. Apparently there was a train line between Moulin and Barbizon. We had no idea. So now we're just walking around. It's a little bit hot. I love this village. It reminds me of Giverny in a sense that it's also a small village with all the art stuff, and the architecture is similar but a bit different, a little bit.
But paysage is the same.
Look at this beautiful house. I'm sure it's private. And there's art everywhere. It's so nice. We need to drink something. It's too thirsty. It's too hot.
The temporary collections were kept at the Atelier of Théodore Rousseau.
This is the place where the museum really started its existence. It was first opened in 1927 with presentation of a few dozen paintings, drawings and 2 sculptures. For many reasons, including financial, the museum closed for a few decades, opening only for special occasions until 1977, when it was reopened with 26 works and then later approved by the Minister of Culture in 1981. Today, the Atelier houses the temporary exhibitions like the one we saw remembering Théodore Rousseau, dedicated to the artist whose life was tied close to the village, where he became one of the founders of the Barbizon School.
We're just walking around trying to find a spot for the thumbnail.
But which is impossible because so many people just came here on Saturday actually.
Saturday, yeah?
Yeah, and it also reminds me of Giverny. In
Really?
Giverny there were
Yes.
so many people.
But it's a lovely place.
Yeah, it's lovely.
On a sunny day, it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's picturesque.
And you got this mosaic parcours, so you can basically walk around and see different mosaics that represent the paintings of the artist.
Yeah, it's a nice concept.
It's lovely, yes.
Yeah,
It's really beautiful.
it's very nice. They also put the explanation underneath and everything.
Yeah. This is the tourist for you right there. We're going to go and we're gonna go and try and get home. This is a bit funny, but we'll see. We'll see how it is. We recommend you Barbizon, but try to come here on a weekday.
I think it will be the same, but yeah,
Might
you can
be
try.
better.
It might be different. I'm not
Might
sure.
be better. Yeah.
There were so many people. It was insane. I don't know. They just appeared all of a sudden, and I don't know. I wasn't expecting actually. It's a very tiny village.
So thank you so much for joining us. And if you like this episode, comment and like and share and subscribe if you haven't yet. And we'll see you in the next one.
Au revoir.
Au revoir.